Hello.
Hello, Prof. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very good. And you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very good.
Fine.
Okay. I don't know. I wanted to share my slide, but I don't know if it's possible from here. But if it's not, I can. I wanted to share the presentation slide, but I don't know if it's possible to share it here.
It should be. So you can also share your screen. Present now next to the hand symbol.
Also share window. I press allow to share window, but it's not connecting. What is that?
Yeah, we can now see your screen.
Okay. Can you see it? Hello?
Not your slides, but your screen.
Ah. I don't know why.
So if you could go to your slides.
Okay. I'm trying. And the slide now, I don't know why it's not linked to this. I'm in the slide now, but I don't know why I'm trying to share, but it's not taking me to the place I'm supposed to.
Okay. Could you maybe stop presenting and check again? Try again.
Okay. Okay. Share your screen. It's the same thing.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, can you see it now? Okay. I will start with the introduction. This is a thesis.
Could you please make this full screen?
Okay.
F5 usually. Presentation mode.
Is it?
No, in PowerPoint. Maybe click present on the upper right hand side.
Okay. Present.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, super.
Okay. This is the thesis defense, as I've been waiting for, and as this is the thesis topic, loneliness in among students. I did qualitative study of this experience of loneliness in Berlin. So the introduction, I will cover the introduction, research question, review of related literature, major causes of loneliness among university students in Berlin, types of loneliness among the students, the effect of loneliness on the well-being of students, effective approach to mitigate loneliness, related mental health issues in university students, methodology, the result, and the qualitative insight, summary, and conclusion. So different authors define loneliness in their own different way, but these two I pick really interest in their definitions. Loneliness is a subjective experience of inadequate social relationship, either in terms of quantity or quality. So another one expressed that university students may experience various types of loneliness, which include emotional, self-perceived loneliness. So what they mean in this is that loneliness is a feeling of feeling isolation, even in the midst of people, and it can come in various way or different pattern, because there's some people that can still be in the group of people, they will still feel lonely due to maybe they feel unworthy or isolated, or feeling, or they are having some kind of emotional distress. They don't really know who to talk to in the group that they can trust. So this is the research question. What are the factors contributing, what are the primary factors contributing to the feeling of loneliness among university students in Berlin, and how do these factors manifest in their lived experience? So that is the question that my research was able to cover. So review of related literature. Loneliness is a significant issue affecting university students worldwide. A recent global survey revealed that 33% of adults worldwide and 26% of adults in Germany reported feeling lonely. This is from Statista 2024. So this prevalent loneliness among students is growing concern, and not just in Berlin, as is all over the world, because there's some students that do feel lonely, even when there are so many students, because some people will be like, you are a university student and there's so many people in the school, but we as a student understand that you can still be in the midst of people, but you did not really have someone or people that really got your back, and that in a way can make the student to feel lonely. And if the student is not well enough to handle it very well, it will result to so many health issues, and which include inadequate sleep, smoking, and aggressive conduct, even accidents, in some cases unsafe sexual practice, because it will push them to enter into a relationship they didn't plan for, just to get that comfort or from someone else. So these major causes of loneliness among the university students in Berlin: the academic pressure and demanding university course can also cause it, because there's some time that there will be so much assignments, so much school work to do, and the student might not be able to go to events or hang out with friends. That usually is good to give student school work to do, but there should be a study and life balance also, so that the student will be able to have time to go out and mingle with others, and that will reduce the loneliness experience dramatically. So unhealthy romantic relationship can contribute to feeling of loneliness, especially following the desolation. For instance, if someone, a student now, because during this my research I found out that some of the students were living with their partner. Let's just have a big scenario. Maybe they have the relationship is dissolved. This can automatically lead to loneliness, because they have already built their world around their partner. So the lack of social activity or enjoyable event can also reduce loneliness. And so if there's a event or lack of if there's lack of social activities or events, this will cause loneliness, because the students sometimes need to go and unwind and have fun and be able to mingle with people, share their experience and some other things. So in some schools that they have all these things intact, like social club, even religious group, because most of us that are religious, sometimes if you're feeling lost or you don't really know who to talk to, you can go to church and unwind your feelings to God. So the transition to college and moving to another geographical region can particularly challenge the student emotionally, because as an international student, you left your family, you left your friends that you have already built, to go to another geographical area to start all over again, to start making new friends, to start trying to get into their circle, to start trying to learn their their kind of behavior, and to, you know, to just to create that friendship is really, really difficult in some cases. And we all know in Berlin is most times it's very difficult to make friends here, sometimes due to language uh, difference, or background, or culture, and there's so many things that will be a hindrance to students making friends. And feeling of inadequate and less confidence, there's some people that they don't have the confidence, they don't really know how to talk to people, so sometimes they focus on their mobile phones, and you know, they can watch TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook for the whole day, because they don't really know how to go out there alone and make friends. And sometimes it affects their self-confidence. It makes them to feel unwanted. So shyness and social isolation, and introvert, there's some people that are shy. They don't really know how to talk to people. It's not that they don't like you, but they don't know how to, you know, go out there, speak to people, and make friends. So is really disturbing for them. They'll be like they might be rejected, and that leads to social isolation and introvert. So these are the types of loneliness among students. University students may experience various types of loneliness, which is social, emotional, and self-perceived. So social, we are talking about is that you don't go out, you don't join in activities, you don't have friends that call you out to let's go out. And emotional is you are in a group of maybe you are in a relationship, you are not getting that attention from your partner, or someone that you are living with as a partner. So, and this is self-perceived loneliness. You are in a group of people, they might love you, or maybe it might be family members, it might be friends, it might be well-wishers, but there's people in that place, but you don't really feel connected to them, and that leads to being lonely. And you don't really know how to vibe, if I'm permitted to use this word, vibing with them. There's no connection, there's no chemistry with them, but you are just there for the sake of being there. This is very disturbing to some people. The effect of loneliness on the well-being of a university student. So the loneliness among university students can be significant. Negative consequences research by Market-Etta 2018 indicate that loneliness greatly affects student overall well-being and mental health. Lonely students often turn to excessive smartphone, which I just mentioned, and the use of offline excessive smartphone used to make up for the lack of offline interaction. So sometimes if you don't have friends around you, you will just some of the students will just be on TikTok for the rest of the night. And in TikTok you can always find something interesting to see there, and before you know it, the day has already run out. So loneliness also contributes to the academic procrastination. Some people will be like, when you're alone, you don't have friends, you'll be able to study more. But in most cases, is not, it doesn't work like that, because as a student, you still need time to go out and mingle with people, to speak to people, to have friends and to make friends, share your ideas, share what is bothering you, get some advice. So university students often experience loneliness and which can lead to mental health issue. When you have all the problems, all the difficulty, you don't really know who to talk to, that can lead to someone having some mental issue. And if the student is not careful, it will affect the diet and physical activity that even play a role to the student, are closely associated to feeling of lonely. And some students, you can see them feeling moody every time they are not happy. So effective approach to the mitigation loneliness related to mental health issue in the university. So this is the cognitive strategy. So if there is something like education to the students, educating them on like this is how it is, especially the new student. If you are lonely, go and talk to social people or try to make friends, put them through. I think that would be a great move for that. And also there's some new students that are lost. They don't really understand the university, they don't really understand the courses, they don't really know who to talk to. Everything is just on their head. They are having accommodation issue, they don't know anything, and they are just there, no friends, no family. So if there's something like education for the universities to be able to put them through, even if there's something like a map or handbook on how they can go by the city and everything. So I think it will be great help for them. And activity-oriented strategy, example, building a supportive community on the campus, such as sports club, religious club, and collaborative learning environment. This is very, very interesting for me, because this collaborative learning environment, before I started university, I don't really like to, so much people on my space, especially working with people in like group project or whatever. But when I started in Berlin International, it's like force. You don't have a choice. You'll be forced to, do some group project with people and know how to even in some group project, there's some students that can be annoying, but you should know how to handle them like your own family. If your brother or sister piss you off, you should know how to handle that. Is there. So this really helped, and it will make it helped me a lot to make new friends also in the process. So I really love this collaborative learning environment, and kudos to Berlin International for that. And methodology, this thesis employ a qualitative research approach to deeply explore the subjective experience of loneliness among university students in Berlin, using semi-structured interview and thematic analysis. The study aims to uncover the factors contributing to the loneliness, examine the influence of social, cultural context, identify the coping mechanism utilized by students. The study involved conducting semi-structured interview with 10 university students in Berlin, selected through purposive sampling to ensure diversity across demographic and academic discipline. So overall, the selection of the 10 students aimed to balance the need for depth and diversity, providing a comprehensive exploration of the lonely among the students in Berlin, while acknowledging the limitation inherent in the qualitative study with small group purposeful sample. So during this research, I wanted to take more sample, but they said that this is a BSc, that I need little and little sample, like 10. It's not that little, but I love the topic, so I wanted to go more deeper. So for this 10, I was able to choose it gave me the idea, it gave the readers the idea of what I'm trying to speak about. It's not that I was able to everything I write here is how everybody feel or whatever, but this is like an example of how students feel, and for people that have not been in Berlin, when they read it, they will understand, have an idea of the feeling of student and their loneliness in Berlin. So the result and qualitative insight, the term and pattern identify, initial challenge, cultural adjustment, emotional impact of loneliness, coping mechanism and social strategy, long-term adaptation, and resilience. So I will cover all these things with my research. So initial challenges and cultural adjustment. Participant 8 is from Turkey, and he encountered cultural and language difference and mixed family and face accommodation problem. So participant 1 is from South Africa. He experienced significant cultural shock and fear of navigating the city alone, which initially confined her to her apartment. So this participant 7 is from Nigeria. He faced language difference, pandemic lockdown, and difficulties in making friends and finding accommodation. So if we check, if you look at all this very well, there's language problem. That is the common problem among all the participants except the 2 German students. So that I will talk about later, why I decided to choose 2 Germans instead of 1 German. So in this research, so the participant 4 is from Egypt, struggle with the same language problem like every other person, and communication issue with native Germans, and making her transition very difficult, just like every other participant that's from other countries. So so the emotional impact of loneliness. So I was able to gather put all this and compare and contrast of their emotional impact, what it has impacted on them, what they were able to make out of it, if it is positive or negative. I was able to put everything down so that the readers will be able to understand where I'm driving at. So negative impact, the participant like participant 1 and 9 describe feeling of lonely, annoyed, and depressed due to their isolation. Participant 10 reported engaging in negative behavior due to loneliness, which affected his academic performance. So positive impact, the participant 1 and 4 reported that loneliness forced them to become more independent, develop new skills, and grow personally. Participant 2 found loneliness provided time for self-reflection and personal space, which in some cases loneliness can make someone to rediscover themselves and be able to learn new things and be a better person, and to be able to face their fears. Sometimes some people progress or discover themselves when they are isolated or when they are alone. So it makes them to think very well and be able to know exactly what they really want. So but being isolated for a long time is not good. So this is the coping mechanism and social strategy. The social interaction. Participant 2 and 3 avoided loneliness by joining online group or live with friends initially. So this is it helps them if you are living with people, especially this participant 2 happens to be 2 and 3, they happens to be male. So male easily integrate with their fellow men. They naturally they have that connection. It's easy for them to make friends compared to the female counterpart. So this is the skill development. Participant 1, 4, and 7, and 8 use their alone time to learn new skills, including language learning, coding, and cooking. This really help them to learn so many new things. As I said before, when you're alone, you can discover yourself and learn some things you don't even know that you are capable of learning. And Seeking support, participant 5, 6, 8, 10 either move with their partner and siblings or sought help from mental health professionals, which provided immediate social support and erase their transition. This really helped. In some cases, when someone is lonely and the person involved in some kind of negative activity, or joining to maybe drug abuse or doing some bad relationship, or which disrupt their mental capacity, they ought to sought for help from the professional who will help them to rediscover themselves and feel wanted and safe again. But in some cases, this will cause them, maybe they will fail some of their courses, and they will still feel unwanted till further notice. Sometimes it will be a feeling of unworthiness, and which sometimes it can lead them to depression. So long-term adaptation and the resilient personal growth.
Could you slowly come to an end, please?
Okay, yeah. So personal growth, participant 1, 2, 4, and highly exhausted, and the experience of loneliness help them to grow and building new network, and participant 1, 3, 4, and 8 eventually build new network that provided support. So inductive reasoning and thematic analysis. The inductive approach guided the identification of the term from the participant narrative, allowing for a ground understanding of the experience, the recurring term of initial challenges, emotional impact, coping mechanism, and long-term adaptation were identified through thematic experience. So this is the question I said I will address. Why did I choose 2 German participants for my research, and what was the motive behind it? So why I choose 2 German participants is because there's some people that will be like, if you're a German, if you understand the language, you will not feel lonely. You are from the country, you know people there. But in some cases, it's not that true, because the participant, I choose female one, and I choose male counterpart also. So they were able to cope just like we, the international student, when they moved from their various destinations. One person is from Cologne, moved to Berlin. The other one is from Hamburg, moved to Berlin. So which made them to cope. The one from Hamburg was able to cope because she was living with her partner, and she already have some family and friends in Berlin, which is made her transition very easy. So the one that is from Cologne find it difficult accommodation. Even as a German, he found it difficult to find accommodation, and he was living in hostel, which like every other international student experience. So this will really help to identify that even if you are a native speaker or international, you can still feel lonely or isolated even in your own country. This qualitative study highlights the motivated nature of loneliness among students in Berlin. While the loneliness initially posed significant and social challenges, it also serves as a catalyst for personal growth and resilience. Participants employ various coping mechanisms, such as engaging in social activity, developing new skills and social support, which help them navigate the lonely, address lonely among the university students. Require a comprehensive approach that include emotional support, opportunity for social integration, practice resources. By understanding and addressing the diverse experience of loneliness, university can enhance student well-being, foster a more inclusive and supportive campus environment, implementing programs that facilitate social integration, offer mental health resources, can significantly mitigate the negative impact of loneliness and promote a healthy, more connected student community. So these are the reference I decided to put it. Thank you.
Thank you. Nico, do you want to start?
Shall I? Okay.
Yeah, you can. I can also.
I can go. Yeah, thank you very much, Udiako.
You're welcome.
Let's say I really enjoyed reading this topic.
Thank you.
Maybe because of two reasons. One, of course, because I think it's a very interesting and very common topic, not only because of Corona, but in general, international students and cultural differences try to fit in a different environment.
Yeah.
Becoming more international, I think this is a very, very it's gaining momentum, this topic, because we will be confronted more and more with those, with international students facing those problems.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I also had a master thesis covering the same topic, but in this case, it's a quantitative approach. So you did a qualitative approach. The master thesis is a quantitative approach. What does not mean this is one is better than the other. It's different approaches, and sometimes I think it's more a complement than this is kind of challenging, because the qualitative study is most for the theory building, and the quantitative is more for the theory testing. So in the end, it's a kind of a complement to what I had to read. But very interesting, because two times it's the same topic, different perspectives. Reading your thesis and listening to you, and especially since I know you from my classes too, and I know you're a very emotional person, I think you are very involved in this topic too, and you could transfer this, let's say, this engagement and encouragement in the topic very well, and I really see that you are really living this topic, and you read a lot about this, and I think you can really emotionally feel those students' problems facing here in Berlin. And I think this makes it a very good starting point for you to take this topic, because positively seen, it makes fun, or you have fun to do this because you are interested, and this, of course, gathered maybe a better outcome than you're just doing, I have a topic and I have to deal with it. The other hand is, now the big challenge is to put this emotion in a, let's say, more emotional, in a very less emotional framework of an academic study. Because an academic study has a very, very close framework. It's very clearly structured, and it tells you really what you have to put in what section. And of course, it asks you a lot of things. That's maybe not so clear in the very first place, but each study asks you, what is your novelty? Because this is a broad topic, but I think if I go for Google Scholar or in the scientific database, I will find a plenty of studies covering loneliness. And only reading your theoretical section, I saw that you found a lot of studies too. So can you tell me, what is really the gap in literature that you are covering? So what is the novelty of your study? What distinguishes your study from already existing studies?
First, most of the existing studies that I found, most of them do not focus on in Berlin. Although some of them was able to cover Germany as a whole. I saw something like that. So it's not in Berlin, and this is another one because I'm living in Berlin, and also I was able to cover, and some of the studies they did not, like while I was reading some of the articles or books, I did not find where they include, like, for instance, I include like two Germans in my research. I include two Germans in my research. I was able to find out and come to a conclusion on my own on the write-up that anyway, feeling lonely in another place is not because only language barrier or cultural difference. Even you that is from the country can still feel that lonely, and you can still be isolated even as a young person. So it's just like every other it's just like when a German moves to another city, is still another country, is just the same scenario, but the difference is that they know the language and they understand the culture. But when it comes to loneliness, it doesn't really matter if you're from the country or you're not from the country, or you understand the language or you don't understand the language, or you are intelligent or you are not that intelligent. It doesn't really matter. Anybody can feel lonely, irrespective of where they are from, their culture, their capability or capacity when it comes to intelligent or any work or any kind of thing. So
Thank you. Yeah. So your focus is the geographical focus of Germany, because you say there are not many studies covering Germany, and additionally, you are comparing between German students and international non-German students to find out what is the differences in feeling lonely. Okay. This you should have worked out much better in your thesis to really show this novelty, this focus, because this is what I could not really find. And I say, okay, but where's now the big difference between your study and already existing studies? You can do so, okay, say, okay, we go with geographical focus because maybe Germany has a very high percentage. You have to prove why Germany is interesting, high percentage of students maybe. And then we go in this comparison between German students and non-German students. So this is what you have to work out clearer in your introduction to highlight your gap. Another point that I will pass to Peter is the thing with the methodology. So you did conduct a semi-structured interview.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of a semi-structured interview?
It will help, like for instance, it will help me as an interviewer to be able to understand the emotions, and also to be able to ask a question freely, without having some only focusing on one particular question. There's something that the participant will say, I'll be able to ask another question related. Maybe the person raised a part that I did not include in my questionnaire. I'll be able to ask that question to be able to get deep or more knowledge about what he or she is trying to say.
Exactly, yeah. So semi-structured interview, and you already wrote that you do an inductive approach. So you try to understand, develop clusters from the interview. You do not go with formally build clusters into the interview, and this is the purpose. So you leave it open to the people to tell their stories. Unfortunately, when I read your interviews, I saw you moved very closed questions. So you confronted the people in the very first question with the topic of loneliness, and if they feel lonely, and why they do feel lonely. What makes those questionnaire very, very close. So you're kind of guiding them to talk about loneliness instead of to have it really open to ask people. So, hey, how is it in Germany? How is your study in Germany? And maybe they will come to a totally different topic and they will not mention loneliness at all, but you gave them this word, and so you focused or faced them to talk about this topic. So this is a little bit conflicting to the idea of a semi-structured interview, because for yourself, you closed this door to allow the people maybe to come up with totally different topics, And then for you to conclude, maybe loneliness isn't a purpose or isn't a topic at all, maybe for specific people, keeping in mind that you said, okay, we do this comparison between Germans and not Germans, or let's say Germans and different cultures. And then you can reflect by yourself, okay, there is loneliness mentioned or synonyms. Here is not. So why is it? So, make them. This is just a hint
okay.
for further. Keep them really open, and sometimes in the semi-structured interviews, you shouldn't even mention your topic. Don't talk about I'm writing about loneliness. More talk about I'm writing about experience with your studies. To really keep it open for you, because otherwise you have biased questions and biased answers. So this is what I really saw in your questionnaire, that it was really triggering the people to specific answers, unfortunately. Okay, so I think this is my major points. Because of time, I think I passed to Peter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, Jakob, what about the literature? What did you really like and what did you not like? And do you see any results where you, in a way, differ with your results from the results of the literature? Because do you think you found something new?
Yeah, in what for me, the literature that I read, as I said before, most of them do not really compare like the citizens of that geographical area, like people that already know the languages, the so many things related to that country. They focus on, okay, we are talking about loneliness, and these are the people that this is what they said, this is what they did not say. So I was hoping to find, like, interview the people that are in that country, that understand the language, that understand the culture. So I was hoping to see such a thing. Like, I want to understand how they feel, like, you know what I mean? So this is something I was not able to find in some of the articles that I read. We are just generalizing, like, everybody living in that, like, international student and other stuff. So this is something I was not able to find, and wish I really wanted and yearned to find, but I could not, because it's not only language barrier or cultural that can make someone lonely. There's some that can experience lonely even with the knowing of language.
And which article did you like best, in a way?
I had so many authors, so all of them are unique in their own way. So but all of them, they have so many things you will gain from them, and you gain from this person, you gain from this person. So I will not say that one of them is my favorite. I will say that all of them are my favorite because they contributed to this research. So yeah, and they have different perspective of viewing the whole topic and their write-up and everything. So it's all of them that I use in my references. They are very good and they try their best.
So Nico already talked about the methodology. If you check out your result, especially based on those interviews, do you think those results are somehow, let's say, reliable or valid, or do you think they're basically, well, just some impressions by some more or less random students?
No, it's not impression, because if this research is conducted, maybe it's I'm not a student, you understand? Maybe is a teacher or a researcher from another place come to interview students or something like that. I'll be like, maybe the student might hold back. You understand what I mean? But this is conducted by a student. and somebody that is in that environment that understands the whole thing. So, and the topic is about loneliness. Is not something. It's not something that maybe this is something that the person that you are interviewing, we know that we feel it, that you have already been to such situation, and they will open more to speak about it, and share their idea without being afraid and disturb, because they already know that you are in that and you understand, and they know everything about you. And I think that is, there's nothing like, is very, very for me, I would say that all the people that I interviewed, my participants, they are very open to share. They did not hold any information back, although sometimes some of them become emotional in the process, but it's okay, and which comes with the making interview. So you have to prepare to meet so many, so this is like opening a healed wound in some of them. So
one last question. You mentioned your participants 1 and 4, where actually the loneliness resulted in rather good things, like them becoming more independent, them developing their own new skills, and them growing personally. Is it so bad if they're lonely? Because in a way, you could argue that it's kind of a rite of passage. So actually, in a way, being a student is always this transition from basically, let's exaggerate a little bit, a kid with their parents to becoming a wholly independent person. So might this be a good thing, or how could you actually make it a good thing? You mentioned group work, but this is rather about actually not being so lonely again. So could this basically just a natural thing?
I don't know. Am I allowed to use myself as an example?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. For instance, being lonely for a long period of time is not good, but being isolated short period to rediscover yourself is very good in some cases. So I will not, it's not good to be lonely at some point. I will not say it's totally 100% bad to be lonely also. Because for instance, during the coronavirus started, I was living in Istanbul. I was isolated because of the corona problem. Although I had business issue, I had a failed business which I invested all my life savings in, but it did not work out. I became depressed. I was angry. I can't even go to work. I was confined in a place which is my home, because I'm used to wake up in the morning, you go to work and come back, but I'm confined to stay there for, how the lockdown went. Everybody knows that. So that period, I was very angry. I lost my business. I, like, everything was on me. Like, I was angry. I lost my father during that period. I was so emotional. I was almost becoming depressed. So I was like, anyway, I think I should start investigating why I lost my business. I started researching online. I saw so many business courses. I was like, okay. I start reading them. I start, developing more interest in the courses. I was okay. I think I'm loving the whole concept of this business thing. So I saw online program about business, all the stuff. So I registered the courses. I took about 8 courses just to keep myself busy. I don't want to think about the lost business. I don't want to think about anything. I don't want to think about the loss of my father. I don't want to think about, I just want to do something different that will take my mind off my worries. So that is how I started to I did the online courses. I saw myself passing the courses very well without any problem. I think it's time for me to go back to school. If I can be able to have all the courses more than 80%, that means I'm still that smart and intelligent girl that I always know. So that is what motivated me I start searching for universities in Turkey. I got one. Almost all the universities chose me. So I was able to select one. I started school. I studied 1 year there. So this short story is to tell you that being lonely at times makes someone to rediscover themselves. If I'm not isolated or confined in my small little apartment, then I will not be able to think of going back to the university. Maybe I will be depressed. Maybe I will keep, working or without even thinking of going back, because working is good. At least you get paid for longer hours. So it's very interesting. So this motivated me to rediscover myself, to know that I can actually go and get that degree, to know that I can actually go to get that business degree. I can be more better. I can, if I get the degree, I can earn more in the job and all stuff. So sometimes it's good to be lonely at times. It will help you to rediscover yourself. It will help you to learn new things. It will help you to be a better person. It depends on how the person handle it. But being lonely for a long period of time, it is not good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Nico, do you still have a question?
No, I'm fine.
Odiako, could we ask you to leave the session, please, so that Nico
Yeah,
and I can shortly talk?
Okay.
How do we get her back?
Maybe you can tell me time so I can rejoin.
Oh, yeah. Maybe in 2 minutes, or?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. Just rejoin in 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That would be
Okay.
most practical. Yeah, that's
okay.
Okay.
Hi again.
Hi, Prof.
Hi again.
Hi.
So, Odiako, congratulations.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're now bachelor.
Oh, wow.
So there were some bright points and some not so bright points. We liked how you engaged with the topic, and of course it's a really, really important topic. You might have guessed from the questions and also from our talks what the weak spots could have been more structured, was a little bit superficial. Those interviews, we talked a little bit about them. But let's not talk about those too much. The really good thing is you have passed, and the really good thing for us is we have met a really nice and interesting student, and
of course.
you. And I think I can also talk for Nico in this respect. It was a pleasure having you as a student. And
thank you. Thanks so much.
I'm glad that we have jointly made this trip, and that it has come to a successful end.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate, and I'm so happy to meet all of you. All of you are so nice and very wonderful, and I'm so sorry if if I piss you guys off at some point. It's not intentional. That is Udako. So
yeah, this is how we do know you.
Yeah, so I really appreciate, and I pray that God continues to bless each and every one of you. I'm so emotional right now. I didn't really get all you said, but it's okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, stay as you are. Keep your personality. Just take our hands to integrate them. This is the thing.
Thank you.
Don't change. Evolve.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I think as we talked about, in some ways or the other, we will see each other again.
Yeah.
Need that you join your sister coming on campus. Nico, Liaka told me next semester her sister will do an MBA at BI.
Yeah, my sister will be coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice to meet her.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah, there's no other capable university that I can trust her with. So that is how I put her in Berlin International, because there's an adage in my place that said, if a road is good, you go to that place the second time. So I really appreciate the university and everything. You guys really did a lot and bring the best out of students. As I said during my presentation, I'm not really, I don't like people on my space like collaborative learning group thing, but all of you know how to push us together. Whether you like it or not, you must work with a student or groups of students. That's really helped me to know how to work in a group, and this is a lifetime lesson that will take me far, not just in school but in a workplace. So because at some point you must work with people in an organization, and so I really appreciate the whole thing, and you have to tolerate all of them, whether you like it or not. The way you tolerate your family, your siblings, you need to tolerate them too. So I really appreciate everything, and thank you so much for everything. Yeah. But Professor Mante, you are not able to give me A in your course, but it's okay. I will try again in the masters. Yeah, Professor Pendorf, thank you so much. You gave me A in some cases. Yeah, so Professor Mantel, you still owe me some A, so I'm coming back for my masters for the A.
You have to come for the
MBA. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys are so nice and you guys are professional. I always say, I told him so much about you guys, so you guys are very, very wonderful, and it's very nice. And there's one of my professor, the female one, I don't know, she's not there again. She relocated. Daphne. Is it Daphne? Yeah. Yeah, she's a wonderful person too. Yeah, Claro, yeah. She's a wonderful person. So you guys should say hello to her. I hope to see her in the graduation. Yeah.
I tell her when I talk to her next time.
Yeah, she's a wonderful person. So I really appreciate her a lot, and every other person. But Professor Manta, you still owe me A, so I'm not giving up on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to beg your pardon because I have to leave. I have a different defense now.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it, and the GVP class to see you again. I was so happy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was the last course.
And this is how you are. Just keep it. Only try to integrate a little bit more structure, especially in the academic place. This is the only thing.
Yeah.
Peter, I do have to inform the examination office, or do you do it about the?
I can do it if you want. I have to ask them how we do this because we usually don't have.
Yeah, ask you if this is possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye, Prof.
See you. Bye.
Bye. Whew.
Hi, you just come on stage in the picture.
Stage, Professor Jennifer Hines and Hassan Koch. Yeah, we're calling the data science as well because we only have 2 graduates this year. So next we have Shazadi Ibrahim, Nazli Elma, Selene Engurul, Tahir Dora Ertis, Udiku Emirha Egwe, Bravo! Esquerdo Luis, Aviv Katz, Neela Kochi, Tao Banyon, Leon Ruffel, Christian Reichen, Zlatko Stojakovsky, Sana Chachani. So this is the BA Business Administration with a focus in international management and marketing. Next, we have the BA Business Administration with a focus in human resource management and leadership. Ludovica Francina,